When you're filming yourself playing with your dog outside, what is the best mode on your phone to be using in order to film that? We have a full playlist on documenting your dog through photos and through videos. I'll link it down below. And we discuss filming yourself while you're playing outside a lot. Typically, I recommend that you put it on a tripod or a phone mount, or you lean it up against something like a gate or your steps so that you can film yourself playing with your dog. And you're going to want to get a little bit of the grass, the big beautiful sky in the background. But as you are further away playing with your dog, what mode should you set your phone on? And a lot of us would think, okay, what's the best filming mode on our camera? I need to use that to get the best quality content. And that is a really good line of thinking. However, there is one little catch to that. If you are an iPhone user, and that's what we're specifically talking about today, and you try to use cinematic mode, which is an elevated version of your recording abilities on the phone, you are going to get things going in and out of focus a lot. Now, you might be thinking, well, in cinematic mode, it focuses on somebody, but if it's supposed to be focused on something else, I can go into editing and I can tap and change that focus location. And that is true, but only to a point. Because if your phone struggles to find focus altogether, if the thing is just blurred altogether, you're not going to be able to move that focus from one spot to the next. So if you are outside, you want to make sure your phone is going to be as wide as possible. So you're going to film on the widest angle you can to get as much in the shot as possible, because if you film it closer up and then you get too close to your phone, you're going to miss a lot of the content that you could have caught. So if you're playing with your dog and you get close, it's going to crop off your head or the top part of your body. It might even crop off part of your dog if you cannot see that screen on where you're going to be filming. Now, if you are filming your dog, you don't want to be using your front-facing screen because, especially on cinematic mode and video mode, it only allows a certain range because it's selfie mode. So it anticipates you being close. If you go further away, it's going to get very pixelated. It's not going to be able to find that focus. So you have to use your rear-facing camera, which means when you set your phone down, you can't see what's on screen. And as you're playing, you can't check to see what's happening. So you want it on as wide as possible so you can get as much as possible. But that also means on cinematic mode, it's going to be going in and out, trying to find that focus, and nobody's there to tap it to regain that focus. So even if it had locked onto you, it could potentially slip out of that and cause a problem. And you can't lock the autofocus while you're moving things around to set it down. So the best choice here is typically going to be to side with video over cinematic mode, just because it keeps everything in place. It is a little more pixelated. You cannot, have that blurriness in the background. It is like one plane, but it is going to make sure that it does not go in and out of focus. This morning, I tested out cinematic mode with a big, beautiful sunrise, and it just ruined most of my footage because it was on cinematic and it could not grasp onto us, even though we were the only thing moving, even though we were the only thing that really was a focal point. It really, really struggled. So when you're filming yourself and your dog playing, I do recommend, again, having it on a tripod or a mount, or you're going to be propping it up against a fence or steps or something like that, and use your video mode on the widest angle possible, because that's going to allow you the best footage for what you're doing. Now, of course, to level that up is to get somebody else to film for you. If you have somebody else to film for you, that's great. If you are a single dog mom like me, you're on your own, you're going to do the best that you can do. So you've got options, you can try things, and you can check out our playlist for more tips on how to level up the content you're creating, be it using a professional camera, a point-and-shoot camera, or your phone to document your dog both in photos and in videos so that you can create a really great memory box inside of your devices so that you can look back on this all the time. You can use really great content on social media, and you can share with your friends and family while you're leveling up your pup to give them the best life possible through our daily videos here on the channel. We'll see you in tomorrow's episode.